Hey everyone, welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Today we're really diving deep into PyTorch.
Oh, yeah.
If you're even remotely interested in AI, you've probably heard of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
What is it about PyTorch that has everyone buzzing?
It's kind of like, it's less like stepping into a stuffy computer lab and more like joining like this high energy workshop, right?
Right.
Everyone's excited, tools are whirring, and it feels like the future of AI is being built.
Yeah,
And the crazy thing is PyTorch is the tool everyone's reaching for.
I know. That's what's got me so interested in this.
I think that excitement really sets the stage.
It does.
It's not just hype. There's a reason why seasoned AI developers, people who've been doing this forever, and curious beginners, people just dipping their toes in, are all gravitating toward PyTorch.
Interesting.
It's this fresh, dynamic way of approaching deep learning.
So deep learning, from what I understand, it's basically teaching computers to learn from data.
That's a great way to put it.
Kind of like, when we teach kids about the world through examples, right?
Exactly.
So how does PyTorch fit into all of this?
Okay, so imagine this. If older AI frameworks were like constructing a building from a really rigid blueprint, you can't deviate.
Yeah, you got the plans. You stick to the plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
PyTorch is like snapping together Legos.
Yeah.
It is a framework, but one that's incredibly flexible. You can change things on the fly, you can experiment, you can iterate. That's the beauty of its define by run approach, as they call it.
Defined by run.
Yeah,
That sounds very powerful,
it is.
but maybe a tad cryptic.
Sure. Sure.
For those of us who don't live and breathe AI every day.
I think a good way to understand it is imagine you're cooking,
Okay.
right? And as you go, you taste.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this needs a pinch of salt. You add a
But
pinch of salt, right?
just.
Exactly. You're adjusting as you're going.
Yeah.
PyTorch is kind of like that for building AI. Instead of rigidly defining everything up front, you make decisions as the code runs.
And that allows for.
Incredible adaptability, which is super crucial for research and complex tasks
Yeah.
that don't neatly fit into those preset boxes,
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's like with PyTorch, you can adjust the recipe as you're baking the cake.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
In a traditional framework, you'd be stuck with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You'd have to follow that recipe to a T, even if it wasn't working out.
So for something as complicated as AI,
As complex as AI.
this sounds like a game changer,
Oh, it absolutely is.
especially if you're trying to solve something totally new.
Yeah, and that's where it really shines.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of adjust and adapt as you go based on the data you're seeing, based on the performance of the model.
Wow.
It's really quite remarkable.
Okay, I'm starting to see why people are so hyped about this.
Yeah.
But let's zoom in a little bit. For those of us who like to tinker under the hood, what are the core features that make PyTorch tick?
Well, I think one of the key elements is what we just touched on,
Great.
which is those dynamic computational graphs.
Oh,
They're like the Lego blocks themselves. They give PyTorch that flexible build-as-you-go structure.
And then I heard about this thing called tensors.
Yes.
Where do tensors fit into all of this? What are they?
Think of tensors as the raw materials.
Okay.
The data itself
What?
that's flowing through the computational graph, right?
Right.
You might be familiar with arrays,
Yeah.
which store data in a grid.
Yeah.
Tensors are kind of similar, but they're supercharged for the demands of AI, right?
No.
They're like specialized containers for the information that your AI model is going to learn from.
Okay, so we have the flexible structure with these computational graphs.
Yes.
We have the data, which are these tensors.
Right.
But AI is known for being very computationally intensive.
Hugely.
How does PyTorch handle all that?
That's a great question. And this is where another key feature of PyTorch comes in.
Which is its ability to leverage GPUs.
GPUs. Okay.
Which, are those specialized processors often found in those high-end gaming rigs.
Right. Yeah.
They excel at this kind of parallel processing that PyTorch thrives on.
So are you saying that those tensors we talked about,
Yes.
PyTorch can churn through them very quickly using GPUs,
Extremely quickly.
which I'm guessing is why it's able to handle those massive data sets
That's exactly right.
needed for training really complex AIs, right?
You got it.
Wow.
Yeah, massive data
It's
sets.
amazing.
Extremely complex models.
So we've got the Lego blocks, we've
Yeah.
got the raw materials,
Yep.
we've got the factory, I guess, that's processing it all,
Yeah, the engine.
the engine.
That's a good way to put it.
There's got to be more.
Oh, there's more.
There's got to be.
There's one more PyTorch superpower that we need to mention.
Okay, lay it on us.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one might sound a bit intimidating, but bear with me.
Okay.
It's called automatic differentiation.
Oh, yeah. I've heard whispers.
I am all ears.
Okay.
When it comes to AI superpowers, yeah, let's hear it.
So essentially, when you are training an AI model,
Right.
it's kind of like teaching it to hit a moving target.
Okay.
It needs to constantly adjust its aim.
Yeah.
Automatic differentiation is like having this super precise coach whispering adjustments after each attempt.
Okay.
It makes the learning process significantly faster and more efficient.
So it's constantly analyzing where the AI is going wrong.
Yes.
And course correcting in real time.
Exactly. It's almost like it's happening live as the model is learning.
That sounds incredibly useful.
Extremely useful.
Especially if you're, maybe not a coding whiz
Right.
who wants to spend weeks tweaking things manually.
Exactly. You don't have to be this like AI guru to
Yeah.
get incredible results with this because it's doing a lot of that heavy lifting for you.
So we've got this flexible framework,
Yes.
got the data, it
There's
processes
the tensors. Yeah.
sensors, yeah.
Yeah.
The hardware acceleration
With the GPUs.
with the GPUs.
Yes,
We got the self-correcting coach,
that's right. Automatic differentiation.
the automatic differentiation.
Yeah.
And now, on top of all this, the coding language itself.
Right.
I mean, this is where the rubber meets the road for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is this approachable for
Oh,
people?
yes. And that's one of the other really great things about it.
Okay.
It seamlessly integrates with Python,
Right.
which is one of the most popular and beginner-friendly programming languages out there.
So if you're comfortable with Python, you're already on the fast track to building AI with PyTorch.
You're already well on your way.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
It's designed to be that way, very intuitive, easy to integrate with existing Python code.
Cool. So it lowers the barrier to entry.
Significantly.
AI feels less like this, exclusive club.
I love that. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's not this, members only.
Yeah.
You need a special jacket to get
A
in.
secret handshake.
Exactly.
Secret handshake.
You don't need that.
But more like a welcoming workshop is what you're saying.
It's a very welcoming workshop.
Yeah.
And everyone's welcome to join.
I love it.
Tools are everywhere. People are willing to help.
This has been fascinating so far, but how about we see this in action a little bit?
I think that's a great idea.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
A classic example that demonstrates the power and accessibility of PyTorch is building a neural network that can recognize handwritten digits.
Okay.
It's very foundational in AI,
Okay.
but it's a great way to understand the core principles that are at play.
So I'm picturing like a jumbled up pile of handwritten numbers.
You got it.
What's the first step in teaching our AI to make sense of that?
The first step is data preparation.
Okay.
Just like a student needs to study examples to learn,
Yeah.
our AI needs to be fed a massive amount of labeled data, in this case, images of handwritten digits tagged with their correct value.
Right.
That's how the AI begins to understand the patterns and the variations in how we write numbers.
So we're showing the AI thousands of handwritten 2s, 7s, whatever.
Millions even.
Millions. Wow.
Yeah, huge data sets.
So it starts to recognize the unique features of each digit.
And that's the key, right?
Yeah.
It's all about pattern recognition
It's all about pattern recognition at the end of the day.
at the end of the day.
Okay.
And so once we've prepped our data, we need to design the architecture of our neural network.
Okay.
Think of this as the brain of our AI.
The brain, right.
Right. And just like the human brain, neural networks come in varying levels of complexity.
Okay.
A simple network for recognizing digits might be like a basic circuit,
Okay.
while more advanced AI models used for things like language
That's
processing
great.
resemble those intricate computer chips
Yeah.
with layers upon layers of interconnected nodes.
So designing the architecture is like choosing the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
Like if our AI is learning to ride a bike, we'd start with training wheels, right?
Yeah.
Before we move on to a two-wheeler.
I like that. That's a good analogy. We match the complexity of the network to the complexity of the task at hand.
Okay.
And here's where PyTorch's flexibility really shines again.
Yeah.
As we train the model, we can actually see how well it's learning
Oh, cool.
and make adjustments to its architecture on the fly
Wow.
to really optimize its performance for that specific task.
So it's not like we're stuck with that initial design.
Not at all.
We can kind of tweak the brain as we go.
Exactly. You're molding it, you're shaping it
Cool.
as it learns.
Which brings us to the training process.
Yeah.
This is where the rubber meets the road, right?
This is where the magic happens. Yeah.
This is where the AI actually starts learning.
Exactly. So in this stage, we feed our labeled data
Okay.
to the neural network, and it begins to learn by adjusting its internal parameters.
Okay.
Think of these as like knobs and dials that it can fine-tune
Okay.
to minimize errors in its predictions.
So for our handwritten digit example,
Yeah.
the AI is looking at each image,
Yep.
making a guess about what number it is,
Right.
and then adjusting those internal knobs based on whether it guessed right or wrong.
Exactly. It's constantly getting feedback
Okay.
and using that feedback to refine its understanding.
It's learning, really.
It's learning, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's a process of trial and error, but it's happening at a massive scale.
Okay.
Incredibly fast pace.
Okay.
And with every iteration, every adjustment to those parameters, the AI gets a little bit better at recognizing those handwritten digits.
It makes me think of those, like, nature documentaries you see,
Where
where you see, like, a baby animal learning to walk.
Right.
It stumbles at first,
Yeah.
but with each attempt, it gets a little steadier, you know?
It's amazing.
A little more coordinated.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing in my mind.
I love that. I love that visual.
This AI just trying to get it right, stumbling at first.
And just like that baby animal, our AI model needs to practice its skills once it's learned them.
Okay.
That's where the evaluation phase comes in.
So this is the big test, right? We got to see how well our AI student performs on new material.
New material. Yeah, stuff it's never seen before.
So we present the model with a fresh batch of handwritten digits it's never seen before.
Exactly.
And we measure its accuracy.
Exactly. How well does it generalize to data it hasn't seen before?
Because that's the whole point, right?
Exactly.
It can't just, memorize the answers.
That's got to be able to generalize. Exactly.
So this has been a fascinating deep dive so far.
It has.
And I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
The tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of what PyTorch can do, yeah.
It's capable of so much.
So we've explored the foundational elements.
Yes.
Walk through a classic example.
A good one, a fun one.
Yeah.
Gets the point across.
But I'm curious, like, where else are we seeing PyTorch make waves in the real world?
Oh, the applications are exploding.
Really?
As we speak, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we talked about computer vision with the handwritten digit example, but this is being used to develop everything from self-driving cars.
Wow, okay.
That can navigate those super complex environments.
So from recognizing a number on a piece of paper to driving a car.
Exactly. It's being used to develop AI-powered medical imaging tools that can detect diseases in their absolute earliest stages.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking life-saving technology.
Are there any other PyTorch-powered innovations that have you particularly excited?
You know, one area that's really captured my imagination is natural language processing.
NLP?
NLP, yep, that's it, NLP.
Yep.
It's always been like a challenging field for AI.
Okay.
But PyTorch is enabling breakthroughs.
Really?
In areas like language translation, chatbot development, even creative writing.
Hold on, AI that can write creatively.
I know.
Are we, like, in a science fiction novel right now?
It's getting there.
Wow.
I mean, with PyTorch, developers are training AI models on these massive data sets of text and code that allow them to generate everything from poems and screenplays.
Wait, hold on. I thought we were just talking about, like, chatbots.
I don't know.
This is like full-on poems and screenplays.
Yeah, marketing copy, even computer code itself.
AI is writing its own code.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
That's like blurring the lines between human creativity and artificial intelligence.
And it's exciting and terrifying all at the same time.
It really is.
It really is.
This is amazing. And I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, absolutely.
What you're saying is PyTorch is really democratizing AI.
100%.
It's making it accessible to a much wider audience.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
One of the things that makes it so special is this thriving open source community.
Okay.
It's not proprietary software owned by some big tech giant.
Okay.
Anyone can contribute to its development, share their code, collaborate on projects.
It's like a global community.
It's a global movement
of people coming together to build this stuff.
Coming together to build the future of AI.
Wow.
It's truly remarkable.
That's amazing. It's really incredible to see how PyTorch is breaking down those barriers. Going from this niche tool to something that feels almost like a global movement.
It really does. It's really something special.
Yeah, and that's what I find so inspiring about it. It's not just about the technology. It's about how it empowers people from all walks of life to shape the future of AI. But we've explored a lot of these, really exciting applications.
We have.
For someone who's, maybe just dipping their toes into the world of AI, it can feel overwhelming.
I can definitely see that.
What are some of the key takeaways that you hope our listeners are left with?
Well, I hope they come away with, first and foremost, a sense of genuine excitement about PyTorch. That's the big thing.
I think you nailed it.
It's more than just lines of code, you know what I mean? It's a gateway to solving real-world problems, from accelerating scientific discovery to creating art that pushes the boundaries of human imagination.
You've definitely sparked that excitement in me, I'll tell you that. I'm feeling that PyTorch buzz we talked about. What else?
Also, I want our listeners to understand that PyTorch is within their reach.
Okay.
It's not some, exclusive tool reserved for tech giants or academic institutions.
Right.
It's intuitive design, right?
Yeah.
That, coupled with the abundance of online resources and the incredible community support we talked about, it makes it surprisingly accessible.
Yeah.
Even for beginners.
And it's that accessibility that feels revolutionary.
It really is.
It's like PyTorch is saying you don't need a PhD to change the world with AI.
That's a great way to put it. That's exactly it. And with that in mind, the final thought I want to leave with you is this. If you're curious about AI, if you have a problem that you think a little machine learning magic could help solve, or if you just love the idea of teaching a computer to see the world in a new light, PyTorch is the perfect place to start.
I couldn't agree more. Well, this has been a wild ride. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive as we explore its dynamic features, the vast potential, and the vibrant community that makes it all possible.
It's my pleasure. The possibilities are truly endless.
And that, my friends, is the beauty of it all. This is just the beginning of the PyTorch story, and we can't wait to see what you create with it. Until next time on the deep dive, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those imaginations firing.